Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, all my beautiful friends from the internet. I am super psyched, super stoked to be back here with y'all again today, queuing up the Reddit Asks Us podcast. So, before we head into the podcast, welcome to Reddit Asks Us, the podcast where we read and react to comments from r/AskReddit. I am your host, Luke Dick. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, remember to like, remember to comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, please leave us a rating and also please leave us a review. Now I want to introduce a new Spotify feature. If you want to answer this week's Reddit question, you can do so by clicking the description of the episode. Below the description, you should see this week's question, and to the right is an icon that says reply. This is an amazing feature that can help boost engagement in the community. I'm super excited that this is a new feature, and already people have been taking advantage of it, and it is just wonderful. And you will be notified when your response is published to Spotify, and everyone else can see it. So I want to thank everybody who responded to last week's episode. I was overjoyed with the amount of responses we got. I was kind of in shock, actually, because of how many people 7 people responded, and I was really just I was really happy about that. Boosting engagement in the community feels like I'm more connected to you guys as listeners. Sometimes when I see the numbers, they don't really feel, it doesn't. I know people are watching the show, and people, I hope people are enjoying the show, but it's nice to know that I can actually hear from the listeners, from you guys, because we make the show as a collective experience, and I really want you guys to be involved in every possible way that you can. So I really want to thank every single person who responded to last week's episode. So let's just get into that. What was last week's episode? So last week's episode, the question was, what was the most messed up thing you saw at your school? So let's start here from the bottom. Phil Sav says, painted 1, 2, and 4 on 3 pigs and let them loose in high school for a senior prank. They spent the rest of the day looking for the pig with the number 3. No surprise for a school in Savannah, Georgia in 1973. Shout out to Phil, man. Shout out to Phil. And you were in high school in 1973. I didn't even know that my demographics were like that. But I appreciate the comment. That feels very 1973. That feels like something you could absolutely get away with in 1973. I mean, geez, I'm glad that I'm glad that you're releasing pigs into the school, and it seems like you can get into schools nowadays with a lot more than a pig. So, yeah, but that definitely does feel like a very 70s prank. I remember, this reminds me of when I was in high school. So I don't think that they definitely don't do it anymore, but I think this is, man, so many things had their last year of being around when I was in high school, because like me and my friends kind of just like screwed it up for everyone, and the school division was like, why are we doing this? Why would we do this? This wasn't something the school division sanctioned, but it was like this tradition where it was like a senior prank. So like when I was in grade 11, the grade 12s through like, I don't know, but filled up one of the grade lounges. Like there was like a grade 10 lounge. They filled it up with balloons and stuff and a bunch of weird things, and I don't know. But these kids would be let into the school, right? And it was always kind of a hush hush thing of how kids are supposed to be let into the school. And so we did ours. I don't think I went. I didn't go, but I know a lot of people who did, and they destroyed this one teacher's classroom, man. They like this teacher wasn't, it's not like she wasn't liked, it's just that she was one of those teachers that you liked or you didn't like, and there was a lot of people on the fence who didn't like her, and they decided to prank, I guess, her room, and they like, I don't know, I'm trying to remember, they took like everything off the bulletin boards and stuff, and they there was like balloons and foam and stuff, I think, in there, and they threw glitter. That was the main thing, was they threw glitter everywhere, and it was impossible to get it off. People got in so much trouble for that. It was crazy. And then because one of the teachers kind of used to do this, like, because they used to be harmless pranks, but in our grade 12 year, there were some, like, because it started to get personal. There were a couple teachers' rooms who like students didn't like, who had that happen. And of course it's like, you know, the poor teachers, right? Like, she's not a bad teacher, and she's not a bad person. It's just some people didn't like her, and so they just decided to deface her room. And this happened to a couple other teachers, and then they had to shut it down, and everyone got in so much trouble. But yeah, so but that definitely does feel like a 1973 prank. It feels like something out of Dazed and Confused. Alex D, 1708, sucking down the meat. Yeah, I'm always, you know, if you want to go back to the 1708 in the last podcast, you can hear me, you know, go sucking down that meat. We keep it sus on the podcast, okay? We have to be open about the sussiness of the podcast, all right? Like, what's a good podcast without being a little sus? You know, you gotta have those moments. Ewan McGregor, a guy I sat next to at the back of the class was watching porn on his phone. That is like you have an addiction, sir. It's like, oh my God, reminds me. I saw this TikTok, and this guy's like pretending to be like at a university lecture, and he's like, how many of you have watched porn in the last month? Put up your hands. Everyone's like, okay. How about in the last week? And everyone kind of puts their hands down. He's like, okay, lost a couple. How about this morning? And then everyone's like, you know, you losing a couple. And he's like, how many of you are watching porn right now? And he's like, flips over his phone, and there's like porn going on the screen. And he's just like, I can stop anytime I want to, but I'm not gonna, because I don't want to. It's like classic addiction. My roommate was telling me a story about a guy who he went to high school with, who would just watch it casually. Like, they would be in the locker room after gym or some sports thing, and he'd just be watching it, just, you know, just sitting there, just like, nice. Yeah. Oh, best part's coming up, boys. You probably want to see this. Let's go. Just not even aroused, really. Just kind of just watching it, you know, for fun. You know, some people like, I don't know, what's, like, I'm trying to think of, it hasn't been a popular show. It's gone, you know, off in a while. I don't know. Some people like, Euphoria? That's a show people like, you know. Some people like, I don't know, there's new dating shows and stuff. Some people like dating shows. Now he just gets right to it. I'm not a rom-com guy. I'm just gonna skip right to the good part. You know, I'm not a rom-com guy. Like, you know, every time his girl's trying to watch a rom-com together, he's just like, why would we watch this softcore bullshit? Why don't we watch the stuff that really matters? But yeah, you're if you're doing that, you're a psychopath. You're a total psycho. Bob says, someone accused me of plotting to shoot up the school and even had fake evidence of texts with my name on them. But luckily the cops saw it was photoshopped, and I didn't get in trouble. Yeah, that's probably like one of the worst things that you could probably have happen to you. You know, that's not an innocent prank. No one's playing an innocent prank on you. Bro, oh, you should have seen your face, bro. Oh my God, bro. I literally pranked them, told you you're going to shoot up the school, bro. That, classic, bro. Classic. Yeah, I got you, bro. I really got you, bro. Yeah. Oh, a week? Wow. Yeah, jail's tough, man. Jail's tough. Yeah, my uncle's been to jail a couple times. Yeah, he says it's rough. Yeah, especially the one here. Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't plan for that, but yeah, we got you, bro. We got you so good. Oscar says, Just commenting to say hi. Been a listener for a while. I'm sure so much crazy stuff has happened at my school, but I forget. Oh, don't worry, Oscar. As the years go on, we all forget. But thank you for saying hi. Browen says 2 kids were caught doing the devil's tango, if you know what I mean, in the cafeteria. How do you I'm confused. How do you get caught doing that? Like, what I mean is, if you're in the cafeteria, that's a public, what are you going to be like? Oh my God, they caught us. You're in front of everyone. You got caught? How would you not get caught? It's like you're just, going at it. Principal walks in. We've been caught. We go, babe, go. It's like, I don't really think you were putting too much effort in to hide it. I think maybe this was more of a public display, if you will. And the last comment comes from Blizzard Uwu Heart. Heard the snap of a kid breaking his arm on the basketball court. That's traumatizing. That is a sound you will hear in your dreams. That is a sound that will stick around, If you are going on a nice hike or walk and you hear someone steps on a branch and breaks it, that's where the good old PTSD clicks in. That's just where it's gonna get you. But that reminds me, Blizzard, about an experience that I had. I totally forgot about this. This was a wild thing that happened when I was in high school. Was we were playing floor hockey, and so the net wasn't right back up against the wall. There was kind of maybe like a meter, or I guess for my American listeners, maybe 3 feet, 2 to 3 feet, probably more than that, more like a meter, 3 feet, something like that, in between the back of the net and the wall. And so I was on if you're facing the net, I was on the left side of the net, and I was behind the net on the wall, and I was looking down at this kid on my team who had the ball in his hands, or he had the ball in his stick, and he was going to pass it to me. And right before he passed it to me, one of my friends ran trying to steal the ball away from him. And my friend was kind of a act now, ask questions later type of guy. So he would always just be super aggressive, and because he was especially in sports and stuff, he would always be really aggressive, but then he would always be super nice about it if he did anything wrong. But he was just so caught up in the moment that he had to do whatever he could to win. And he ran into this kid trying to get the ball, and I literally watched this kid's arm, his hand kind of pressed up against the wall to break his fall. But the weight of my friend pushed him into the wall, and I literally saw his forearm snap. It was insane. It was one of the worst. It was one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. This kid's arm was just I went over. I was like, oh my God. And so I run over, and he's holding his arm, in shock. He's like, oh, and his forearm, I'm not even kidding, just before his wrist, looked like the letter Z. Literally looked like a Z, just curved and back. It was wild. It was wild. That was probably one of the craziest experiences I saw. I've never seen anything like that since in my life. That was wild. Anyways, why don't we hop into today's episode? Folks, I'm so glad, and thank you so much for your responses. Remember, you can always comment, and I will read those responses out on the next week's following episode. So, this week's episode is, what is your worst / weirdest experience at somebody else's house? These ones are always fun because you think because you might grow up in the same place as somebody that you guys are going to have the same customs and the same house and dynamic. That's not true, and that's a hard lesson you learn as a child. That is a very interesting lesson that you learn, is that, oh, this is very different than my house. We do not do things this way. First off, user main not for porn. What's with all the porn? Okay, I don't really like that word, porn. It's too close to popcorn. You know what I mean? I don't like mixing those two things together. It's not something I want to. Yeah. But yeah, people on Reddit They're obsessed with sex for some reason. At someone's birthday party at her house, she divided us into groups and made us write songs about her. That's maybe just a tad bit vain. All right, everybody. It's my birthday. Everyone knows it's my birthday. So, right before, you guys give me the gifts, I thought it would be super fun idea, just a totally natural idea I kind of just came up with, just not even, I was just something super fun. It just randomly came up with. How about we split up, okay? And then you guys get to write songs about how awesome I am. Huh? Doesn't that sound like fun? Because I am awesome, right? I'm amazing. It's every day should be my birthday. I mean, I shouldn't get any older, but every day should be treated like it's my birthday, because just that's how amazing I am. So why don't you just go ahead and just write the most, passionate, heartfelt song, learn to play the guitar, even maybe just, do something, because if I don't really like the songs that you guys make, there's going to be consequences. Okay. I'm going to start rumors about you. I'm going to say that you have 2 left feet. It's just going to be, you don't want to know what's going to happen. Okay. I will get you so bullied so hard that you will never want to show your face in this city ever again. Okay. I will literally make you want to get cosmetic surgery, because this will follow around you for the rest of your fucking life. All right? But just have fun with it. Have some fun with it. Just have fun with it. Go wild. Go nuts. Troopa Ding replies and says, "Happy birthday, Chloe. Cheers to the biggest bitch I know. Your face remind me of a shark. You look the best in the dark. You smell like egg salad. I hope you like this ballad. I was paid to come to this party. Your dad gave me 50. Thanks, Marty." Yeah, just you gotta write a diss track. That's the way. You gotta flip it on its head. You gotta write a diss track about her. Commenter Aber Incognita. I had a friend who decided that for her 21st birthday, instead of gifts, she wanted everyone to write a 1-page paper detailing what they liked about her. That would be lovely if given spontaneously, but the moment it was requested, I could suddenly think of 0 pages. Suffice it to say that this was a symptom of a much larger problem, and I did not complete the assignment or keep the friend. I think there's some larger issues going on there. I don't really think that it's pretty orthodox to ask for people to write all the things down that they like about you. That's like a gift that somebody gives you, or you saw that somewhere, and now your psycho brain is like, oh, Timothy wrote Jeff a letter about all the things that he likes about him. I need everyone to do that for me. Everyone must do this for me on my birthday. It's that's a little psycho. Well, not a little. That's a lot psycho. That's a very vain thing to do. Very egotistical thing. Why do you need people? Why do you need people to do that? It's gonna come off so not genuine. Craft Dinner, user Craft Dinner, moving on, says, a buddy and I were walking down the street and noticed a drunk guy bothering a woman outside a store, and his balls were hanging out of his shorts. We stopped to help, and so does some guy in an army jacket. And after the cops come by to deal with the drunk guy, army guy invites us over to have a beer. We were about 14 or so at the time. We said sure. Get to his apartment, and he gives us a beer each and shows us his big knife, tells us how to gouge out eyes, and how to shoot someone under the chin at the throat pointing up, so if by chance they survive, they will become paralyzed. Then proceeds to demonstrate on me a choke move that he was taught, which fucking hurt. My friend had the knife in hand, and just in case the army guy didn't let go, after I was let go and able to breathe, we pieced out of there fast. The longer we sat there, the more scared I was getting. Haven't thought about that for some time. Someone commented, or no, I don't know. But this reminds me of like Taxi Driver. That's something, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Taxi Driver, but that's definitely a Travis Bickle move. He's all like, he's like, thinks he's super heroic by helping this situation. Then he's like, oh man, you guys are great people too. How'd you like to come back to my place, and I got some really cool stuff. I want to show you some cool stuff, neat stuff, slick stuff. I want to really kind of, you guys really want to see this shit. And you take him to your house, and he's just like sharpening his blade. It's just like you walk into his apartment, the door slams behind you, and just all you hear, shing, shing, shing. When I was in Afghanistan, I killed 50 Taliban with my bare hands. Although some of them weren't even Taliban. I think some of them were just villagers, but when you're in a frenzy rage like that, you don't know what you're doing. You see anyone and you just gotta go for it. You're just like trying to jiggle the door. It's not working, not going. Where are you trying to go? Why would you want to go anywhere else but here? It's the greatest place on earth. Have you ever seen an AK-47 before? But yeah, that's how you find out fast that somebody's not who you thought they were. And giving beers to 14-year-olds is like some guy you thought was in the military, and he's like, yeah, I definitely don't think that this guy's in the military. If I'm gonna have to go on a limb, I'm gonna have to go on a limb and say I don't think that this is a military man. I think there are some couple red flags here that are kind of, giving me some indications that this guy's probably not in the military. Something about this situation makes me feel like he is not in the military. Something's telling me that if he was in the military, he was dishonorably discharged. I have a feeling that you were definitely, they saw some screws loose there. They were not faithful in your tactical abilities. I think that's something that you might have internalized. Jonas, next one comes from Jonas00345. Went to a friend's house. We came in and somebody started yelling and swearing at him from another room for no reason and impromptu. Scary, threatening, and abusive sounding. It was his dad. And the dad didn't realize I was there. The kid was cool about it, just kind of. Maybe we should just go for a walk. It was how cool the kid was that unnerved me. Just his day-to-day. Pour Me another responds and says, my dad did that to me once, and my mom told me off for not letting them know, or for not letting them know my friend was there, rather than telling my dad off for threatening to kick my teeth in. Holy crap. I just gotta go on I just gotta say that we have very different parents. My parenting experience very different than that. Bearded Dragon 34 says, and replies and says, it's got to be a weird cognitive dissonance to know something is wrong enough with your abusive behavior that you wouldn't want an outsider to witness it, but then to decide, that the best course of action is to get mad at the abuse victim for not warning you so that you could put on the sweetness facade. It's like they know they're doing something wrong. Why didn't you tell me? Why wouldn't you tell me that your friend was here? I was gonna kick your teeth in. You have to tell me when they're here, not gonna be all nice. What are they gonna think that I'm, they can't see my abusive side. They can't see that. It's horrible, it's terrible, it's awful. That only happens behind closed doors, okay? I'm gonna kick your ass, but it's gotta be behind closed doors. Okay, Dad. And his friend is just chill about it. He's just like, nah, it's Dad. It's Dad being Dad, It's gotta... He's a character. He's a character. But seriously, if any of people are experiencing abuse like that, please, please, please do something about it. And don't be afraid to do something about it, because that is just horrible. The fact that this kid kept his composure about it is shocking. But yeah, seriously, on a serious note, definitely go and seek some guidance and assistance if that's something that is happening to you or someone that you know. Background end, next comment, background end 3315. When I was in college, there was this redneck named Scott who lived with his mother and was desperate to leave and move in with me. When I was helping him move, his mom lit up a joint, which I ignored. Then she tried to grope my crotch. "Careful," Scott shouted. "My mom's a pervert." Over the years, that is a meme for me. Yeah, like, "Bro, you gotta be careful, man. You know my mom's a pervert, bro. My mom's been on that pervert shit, bro." See, the thing is like, I always find it so weird how it's like, morally, it's not acceptable. Absolutely, it's reprehensible. That's something that you should be in jail for sexual assault, obviously. But it does fascinate me how it's like, if you switch that situation and that's a man groping a young woman, whew, that's definitely not a meme anymore, my friend. That is not a meme. That becomes very much not a meme. That becomes that becomes a sexual assault charge. But I'm glad you were able to find the humor in that, because I don't even know how I would react in that situation. Someone just gropes me like that. Like, what am I be like? Like, what do I do? Like, what am I? I feel like I would just be like, I'd be confused. Like, I'd just like shocked. Like, what am I? What is this? Like, do I call the cops? What do I do? Like, I'm not gonna act out physically. Next one comes from Suvan Pan. Stayed at my friend's house one time and found out her family only uses red light bulbs in their house because of an astrologer told them to do so. Listen, guys, this is a big one, okay? This is a big one. So, after your cards, I read them. I still felt like I needed something more. So that night, I did interchannel meditation. So I took 5 tablets of LSD and meditated. And it was a very spiritual connection that I had, with Mother Nature, Mother Earth. And I received some very, very powerful news from the universe. And the universe is telling me that if you replace all of the light bulbs in your house with red light bulbs, you will win the next jackpot lottery. And everyone's just like, "Let's go! Woo!" He's like, I know, it's crazy, but it's every light bulb, every single light bulb. The entities told me that, because I did smoke a little bit of DMT, and the DMT entities did tell me that if there's a single light that's in your house that is not red, kiss goodbye to the lottery. Kiss that lottery goodbye. You can smooch it goodbye. It's gone. It's just not going to happen for you. So, yeah, good fortune. You want to win that lottery? You want to win the next jackpot? You got to replace all those light bulbs. Got to do it. There's no other way, really. Reply from Girth Rules. We used red lights on the bridge of a ship I worked on. They provide light, but let you keep your night vision. There's a strange thing about the red light, though. You can't see red ink in it. So one night, we played a prank on one dude. My boss drew a big penis in red ink on a piece of paper with some other shit on it, and proceeded to have a nice 5-minute talk with the guy who was coming on watch, right over the paper, kind of gesturing at it and going over the list. Oh no. Then somebody turns on the regular white lights, and this enormous penis appears on the paper. Dude did not take that well. It was a pretty badass prank. Well, it was done by the boss, so not much you can really do about that. That's so funny. So he's just like going through this clipboard. He's like, so this, you have to see this paper right now. He's like, I want you to get in close. All right. I want you to get in close. I want you to like this point right here. Okay. This point, I need this to be done. This has to be done. This is imperative, that this step gets done. So I need you to just come closer to the paper. All right. Just no, just real close. Yeah. Put your face on it. Just put your face right on it and read it. Even just lick it. Stick out your tongue. Just stick out the tongue, just maybe even spit on it, just so that you can be connected more with it, okay? This is a point I need you to take to your grave, okay? I just need you to just put your face all in it, open that mouth wide and just accept that point is coming into your life. Next one comes from Horror School 6713. A long time ago, I went into my weed dealer's apartment to get some weed. This sounds already like the plot of Pineapple Express. He was a tough guy, all tatted up, hung around some shady characters. I get there, and he has 2 kittens he just adopted. One of the kittens takes a liking to me. So I'm in a room with these hard-ass tough guys, and while we're passing this blunt around, I'm sitting in a lazy boy chair, and this cat is sitting on my chest and kneading its paws into me and purring. It was the weirdest environment for this to be happening. It's like someone's just like talking about, he's like, yo, man, that fucking, that guy stole my weed, bro. He stole my weed. I swear to God, we got to do something about this, bro. We have to do something about this, all right? We got to pull up on this guy. He's stealing our stuff, bro. We can't let that happen, bro. We can't let that happen. I'm just sitting on the couch like, meow. Yeah, bro. Totally agree. 100%. But sorry, I can't come along. Looks like I'm busy, Kittens, you know how the kitten is. You can't upset a kitten. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows you can't upset a kitten, okay? Especially when they're kneading with their little paws and shit. You can't do that. Okay? All right? I'm staying here with the kitten, but you guys do your thing. Do your thing. Okay? I trust the right outcome will happen. A reply from Rapid Dr. Bass. My first weed dealer was a guy I only know as Smithy. How he wasn't in prison always bewildered me because he made absolutely no effort to conceal his ways of earning money. He was the perfect dealer to have. Useless. Always late, would sometimes give you just bare weed and assume you'd have something to put in it. What? What are you going to put in it? Once made me meet him in the pub and gave me my weed in a used pint glass. Isn't that not more effort? Is it to put it in the glass than it is to just hand it, even if it's just not in a bag? He was a man that put me on edge for sure. One time I was buying, and he was giving me the vaguest instructions on where to meet. Each time I called, he would get even more pissed off, eventually saying, screw it, you can meet me at my flat, and then screw off. Was half thinking, screw this, I can't be asked anymore, and I wanted some weed for a little party. I went to his flat, he buzzed me up, lift broken, had to walk up 3 floors. I get to the floor below, and I can smell a bit of the weed and think, someone's smoking a joint. And get to the top floor, and the stench is so potent, I feel like I am a nug of weed. I knock on the door, and a voice says, open, come in. Open the door, and this massive Rottweiler laying in the kitchen sees me, gets up, and charges towards me. In that moment, I froze and just accepted my fate, expecting to get mauled as a consequence for messing this guy around. Dog gets halfway down the hallway and just flops and slides along the wood floor on his back, so he stops at my feet, belly up, tail wagging. This dog was blazed from the ambient smoke and was so chuffed to have some attention. Weirdest pickup ever. Well, it could have ended a lot worse than that. I can tell you that right now. Dogs, man, especially people's dogs you don't know, sketchy dudes. If you know someone's sketchy and they've got a dog, it's like, you don't know how they train that dog. If they hardly put any effort into their own life, what makes you think they're going to put effort into training a dog? You know what I mean? It's like, geez, I'm like, man, and I'm like, it's not like I'm not a fan of dogs. I like dogs. I like animals. I'm not a fan of animals. I'm allergic though. I'm allergic to dogs and cats, so it's not like I can really spend a whole lot of time with them. And I never grew up with pets. But one of the wackest experiences I ever experienced was I was walking during COVID. I was just like walking around my house. I was out for a walk in the park, and I was on my way back, and I was wearing my headphones, and this dog, like, you know, when you're like walking past like excitable dogs and they're kind of tugging at their leash, kind of, you know, because they want to like come and say hi. This dog, as I'm walking past, freaking bites me. It was whack, man. I started bleeding. It was not fun. And so I like came home, had to disinfect it and stuff. My parents got all freaked out, so we tried to go and find the person. The person didn't even like the person. I don't even. Maybe it was just her nervous laughter or something, but she was like laughing and thinking it was kind of like funny and not taking it really seriously. I was like, your dog just bit me. Like, it's not funny. Like, I don't know what you think is so funny. Like, your dog just literally bit me. So I'm not even bother. As teens, me and some of my friends went to this trap house, and the main guy living there had just gotten a tiny kitten, and the guy was basically a moron, and he put the cat on the blades of the ceiling fan and said it was going to turn on, and my friend grabbed him to make him stop. Couldn't react fast enough, but we ended up leaving shortly. I hope the cat turned out okay. That is really tragic, and I can almost guarantee you the cat was probably not okay. Probably didn't really turn out great for that cat, gotta say. If right away you got a kitten and you're putting it on the ceiling fan, I can only imagine what's next. All right, let's do a couple more here. Because I spent like 10 minutes reading replies, so I feel like I deserve to give you guys like a solid 30 minutes of reading Reddit posts. Froglover215 says, I found a hardcore porn magazine under my friend's mattress, top bunk on a bunk bed. So it was about eye level. Must have been sticking out a bit because something caught my attention. We were 10 years old maybe. She blew it off like it was nothing. A year later, my mom banned me from sleeping over at my friend's house. She was still welcome at ours. I was secretly relieved because the vibe was weird over there for a million reasons. When I was an adult, my mom finally told me that the reason for the ban was because teachers suspected, S.A. My mom taught at our school. I'm sure it got reported to CPS, but nothing came of it. Anyway, pretty sure the magazine that I found that day was their version of bedtime stories. That is whack. Oh my god. Oh, that makes me want to puke. Oh, that's disgusting. That's horrible. I don't know why I read that one, guys. Ew. That's nasty. I remember, so next comment, LLCUCF80 says, I remember when I was a kid, probably around 10 or so, we went to our friends of our families for dinner. The husband and wife got into a very loud screaming match over whether to serve creamed corn or frozen corn. I'm talking in each other's, talking in each other's faces and being shrilly loud. 10-year-old me was fascinated by how such a mundane object could arouse such passions, and of course I wanted to see how it turned out, but we were instead quickly ordered into the car and left. Still never understood how corn caused such a disagreement. I found out they later got divorced. Yeah, Jesse Custer replies and says, it wasn't about the corn. Yeah, LCUCF80, I can pretty much guarantee that they didn't get divorced because of corn. That's not usually usually there are some like when divorces happen, usually they're because of deep-seated things like resentment and cheating or miscommunications or trust issues. Corn, I would say, tends to be near the more, like, if there was a bottom of the list, I would say about 40 feet under the bottom of the list, maybe even more than that, maybe even closer to the center of the earth type of away from the bottom of the list would be corn as reasons for divorce. So Jim, I'm really sad. I'm really upset to hear about your divorce. That must have been really tough on you. I mean, when Maggie and I went through our divorce, it was brutal, but we weren't right for each other, we really weren't. We argued all the time, we had trust issues, we didn't communicate very well, it's just, it was one of those relationships that, we stayed with out of comfortability, and we just really weren't right for each other, so, things are all right now, but it's divorce is a tough thing, I've been there. Yeah, we didn't really have any of those problems, really. Yeah, not really anything like that. Oh, what do you mean? It's the goddamn corn, man. It was the I can't even get into it. I can't even. She wants to have cream corn. Cream corn? Cream corn? Are you serious? Cream corn? What is this? What is this? Military? We're gonna cream corn? Who likes cream corn? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with cream corn? What do you eat with it? What do you eat it with? A fork, a knife, or a fork or spoon? What are you gonna eat that with? What wants cream corn? It's niblets of corn. People want niblets of corn, of individual corns, okay? And if you do them right, they're frozen, but if you do them right, then then they're great. It's great. Who doesn't love corn? No, you want the niblets, okay? You don't want the cream corn bullshit, okay? That's just the shit that's in there. Really? I can't believe she wanted it. God damn, it's cream corn. Yeah, I can pretty much guarantee it wasn't about the corn. Okay, folks, I think I'm going to end the podcast off there for today. So I want to thank each and every single one of you for tuning in. I love all of you. So remember the new Spotify feature. If you want to answer the question, go to the description of the episode. To the right, to the bottom right is an icon that says reply, and you can reply to this week's question, and I will read that question, respond to it in the next week's following episode. So thank you so much for tuning into the Reddit Asks Us podcast. I am your host, Luke Dick. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts, please leave us a rating, and also please leave us a review. All right, I'm so happy to be here with you today, and I hope that each and every single one of you has a blessed, blessed week. Thank you very much. Peace, love you, bye.